Since I'm currently an 11th grader working in loyalty, and today I'll be interviewing some 9th graders to discuss about social media and learning. Our guests here, please introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, my name is Sukiti Joshi and I'm currently studying in 9th Sagarmatha. I started studying in this school from grade 1.
Hi everyone, I'm Isha Bandari, currently studying in grade 9 Sagarmatha and I've been studying in loyalty since grade 2.
Hi everyone, I'm Shriza Mishra and I'm currently studying in 9th Sagarmatha and I've been studying in this school for like 2 years.
Hello everyone, I'm Samadhi Pandey and I'm currently studying in grade 9 right now and I'm studying this school since grade 5.
Namaste everyone, my name is Avishra and I've been studying Loyalty Academy since the first grade and I'm also from Nensaramata.
Now, with the introductions over, we'll be getting straight into the questions. Firstly, which app do you use the most and for how long?
Well, I use YouTube and Instagram the most. Do any of you guys use YouTube?
Yes,
I
I
do.
do.
Well, and I use them for about 2 to 3 hours.
Well, just like Shriza, I also use YouTube and I probably use YouTube about 4 to 5 hours depending on the day.
Well, the app that I use is Safari and I use it for 3 to 4 hours.
Well, I use the app Instagram and I use it for about 2 to 3 hours per day.
I mostly use Insta. I probably use it for 1 to 3 hours a day in average.
And what kind of contents do you guys usually watch or prefer?
Well, the content that I watch would be thriller or action genres, specifically action movies because I really like them and they're interesting.
Well, I really like ancient, so probably anything ancient dramas, historical dramas.
Well, I'm mostly into pop culture, so I usually watch music.
Well, I mostly watch the contents related to arts and singing pop culture.
I mostly watch about football and physical conditioning.
Okay, then do you guys ever watch tutorials, like you guys follow any educators with these things? And if you do, then for what reasons?
I follow ZTS for football basics and skills and also David did for bodybuilding tips.
Well, the creator that I follow would be Brightside. It's a channel that's dedicated for astronomical events and such, like what if scenarios, which are really interesting and really bring out the beauty in life.
Well, as we're talking about educators who make learning fun, I definitely have to mention Bob Ross. You all probably already know who's Bob Ross. Bob Ross is an educator who teaches us paintings. I mostly like Bob Ross's videos because I can recreate his challenges and make landscapes. I'm not as good as Bob Ross, but I definitely think that recreating his challenges are really fun.
Well, the content creator I love is GHC. I love watching his creative art videos. I learn so many things about drawings and I also learn creativity and the importance of practice. And I also do love how he uses his content to entertain and make people happy.
Well, I watch two educators who's also a content creator named Person Care Mentor and Silva Schnorr. They have a way, while they help us in a very interactive way and in a fun way while learning different types of new topics and different chapters based questions.
So you have recommended some educational creators. Are there any apps as well that you would recommend to other fellow students, something they might find helpful?
Yes, well, for me, the app that I would recommend would be Wordle. It's a really simple app which helps people expand their English vocabulary and even their fast thinking, as you only have 6 tries before you get the answer. Not to mention the word refreshes every day so people can expand their English vocabulary.
An app that I would recommend to other fellow students is probably Sudoku. Uh, it is mostly about a mathematical game or or an app related to maths. It will help you increase your fast and technical thinking and also solve or tackle math problems easily.
Well, I use many apps, but I would like to recommend one most used app to all my fellow students, and that is Brainly. Brainly is a kind of app which helps the students be engaged in different learning activities and also be attached to studies more.
Well, speaking of useful apps, I would also recommend Quizlet because it is the app I use the most as well. It helps me learn lessons from different flashcards, quizzes, and practical activities. I think it is very effective for students because it helps the students to even prepare for the exams.
Well, there's many apps, but an app I would suggest is Duolingo. Duolingo is a language learning app where you can learn different types of languages. Especially what I love about Duolingo is the fact that Duolingo is so interactive. You feel like you're playing a game, but you're actually learning a whole new language. I've also learned French through Duolingo. Have you guys learned a new language through Duolingo?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
What a coincidence. I also learned French. Would you like to share a few words?
Bonjour,
Bonjour.
comment ça va?
Ça va bien. Et toi?
Ça va bien, merci.
Oh. Then apps and creators, but what about yourselves? Do you guys teach each other things? Do you guys have any study group?
Well, we do have an online study group. Actually, it's our class learning group, and I think everyone present here is a member of the group.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
Oh, you do. Then how effective is it?
Regarding how effective it can be, I think it's really effective because we can share notes and communicate with our friends.
Yeah, and additionally, if one student is absent, the student can text the group or tell someone in the group to send the work or the information that they missed, and they could also share ideas and also support one another with their studies.
Yeah, not to mention we can video call to discuss group projects or exercises that we don't understand properly, specifically for exams.
Personally, they have helped me during exam times. When I don't know about a specific topic or a lesson, they will video call me and teach me personally.
We have a online study group and which is very effective for us by sharing different notes and it's very useful for students sharing notes and so they'll be known about the notes which is written by teachers and they'll be informed earlier.
Oh, I see. That's good then. So, would you guys say that outside of academics, social media helps students in other ways?
Well, yes, I agree that outside of academics, students can learn many more things than education related things because after academics there are so many things that student can learn and that is learning new skills and photography and creating different types of 3D model design and graphic designing.
Yes, I agree that outside of academics, social media is really great, specifically for the creative liberty that it proposes. People can talk everything they want on the internet that they are not comfortable with in real life. They can share their daily lives, experiences, and even learn new hobbies.
Yeah, I do agree with her. I do agree that students can learn different activities outside of academics, and they could learn different ideas, learn different skills, and also connect with people who share the same ideas. And I think they could express their creativity to art, music, etc.
Well, outside of academics, social media can help students and other fellow people uh, to learn many skills. Personally, I have learned about floor basics and skills, and also I have learned about wildlife and nature, and also how animals like to live, or what are their habits in the wild nature.
Well, after listening to them all, I do think the best part is about the fact that we can discover new hobbies. As someone with bunch of different hobbies, I totally get inspired by social media all the time. Like I learned cooking, photography, and a lot of more new hobbies through social media.
So, online learning seems pretty effective. Then, how can teachers use platforms like YouTube or TikTok to help you guys learn?
So I think that teachers can use platforms like YouTube and TikTok to make the lessons more interactive and effective. I think they could create educational videos, explain different topics with visuals, and also provide resources for students who want to learn more. And I think that it would be very effective for students to learn the lessons at their own pace.
Totally agree with Shiza on this matter. I believe that visuals have a better way of explaining things that modern languages and words do not teach to students. Imagine looking at it visually rather than just words. People will be able to grasp the information much simply and be able to go at their own pace.
Well, teachers can use social media and other platforms by making short videos on the topic that they have taught that day or the lessons that they are about to teach, which will not only help us but will also help the future generations. Uh, and they can also make short documentary videos, which will be very helpful and very interesting to be watched.
Well, definitely. I think the best part is making short videos and animations. For an example, when we learn through science experiments like chemical reactions to our textbooks, we don't always remember them. But when we have a visual representation through an animation, the science experiment lasts longer in our brain and is more understandable to others.
Well, I do agree with her, and I also think that kids can use many platforms and different sites for students to learn in a very interactive way. by making a different kind of documented videos, by using different kind of visual effects in it, and so that the student can remember it long for a long time, and student can be mentally prepared for their examination.
Yes, but for all that to happen, we must be pretty skilled at using digital medias. Do you think, in that sense, having a phone is a must for every student? And if you do, tell us why.
In this generation, I think we all have a phone, right?
Yes,
Yes,
you
we
do.
do.
Well then, uh, phone is like a must in this generation. You know why? Because uh, if a student is absent for a day, they can ask their fellow classmates what lessons did they learn that day, or what notes have they written, and which has been very helpful to me as I've been absent someday, and there are many other things that you can learn through mobile phone also.
Totally agree with him on this topic as well. Phone is a must for every student, that is 100% sure. Like we've discussed before, we can use it for many purposes like educational creators, or use apps that can help with our study, or even we can even learn skills outside of academics.
Well, totally agreeing with all of them. I also believe that a phone is a must, but it's also true that you can learn without a phone. But as students who need to constantly look up information and search facts, a phone is the best tool to use because it's easy to use, easy to access, and gives us information in a fast pace.
Yes, I do think that a phone is a necessity in this modern world. So I think a phone is useful to know what's happening outside of our world. And I do think it is very important to know about the events that is happening outside of our country through news and updates. And also using apps like Google Maps, we could know the locations of or of any place, or in case if we get lost.
Yeah, definitely. I also think that having a phone is a must for students because in today's modern 21st century, every student must have a phone in order to know about what is happening in the world, and in order to know about what kind of a volcanic eruption, what kind of volcanic eruption or earthquake is going on, or any kind of calamities are going on, and also in order to know about the weather forecast.
Yeah, I also agree, but having a phone all the time can distract you from your studies. Do you guys have any tips on how to minimize screen time to focus on the studies and other things?
Well, for me personally, in my opinion, the best way to minimize screen time would be adult supervision. While this may be a debatable topic for many students and they might disagree saying that they deserve their own personal space, I believe that most students, when it comes to screen time, have a very low capacity to control themselves on their own, which is why I believe parents or an adult can really help them with this topic.
Well, I also know some tips for reducing and minimizing the screen time of the students by not using the mobile phones, and they are by keeping a phone side when studying, and by not getting distracted easily, and by setting a timer, and by turning off all the notifications so you might not get distracted easily.
Yeah, as students, we need to reduce our screen time. So I think we should set time limits, uh, and also we need to take regular breaks to reduce our screen time. And I also have a very useful tip. I think we should start reading books, exercise, go out for a walk, or even maybe spend some time with our friends and families rather than just scrolling through social media.
Well, definitely. I think the best tip that could be is not keeping your phone next to you because when you see your phone next to you, a notification might pop up. The notification urges you to open your phone. You might open your phone thinking that you'll scroll a reel for 1 to 2 minutes, but later on, just 3 hours later, you realize you wasted a lot of valuable study time. So when you need to study and focus, remember to keep your phone not beside you and turn off your notification because it could be really helpful when you want to focus.
Well, a few tips to minimize screen time to focus on study. I would personally recommend to use an app timer, uh, and also keeping the phone, and also you can keep the phone out of your arm's reach during the time of study. Just like Elisa said, uh, a small distraction or a small notification will make you hook up with the phone for a long time, which can make you cause uh, loss of the, which can reduce your studying time.
Yes, although studying all day makes you stiff as well, and it would be nice if school used more media and students use more books at home. Do you believe that teachers should be using more educational videos than just theoretical teaching?
Well, I do agree teachers should use more educational videos because especially teachers who are great at presentation skills should maximize on that quality because I believe students learn more effectively through visual learning and recently we've also been visiting our science labs and smart classes for more of a visual learning. What do you guys think about the experiment?
It was
It's
lovely.
so
So yes, definitely. I believe that educational videos are more effective.
Yep, totally agree with you, Isha, on this matter. Educational videos are definitely the better option in this situation. Imagine going through a science lab and doing experimental work rather than just looking at a book. It really just hits different. Obviously, I'm not saying that books and copies are not the way for studies. They both should be here, but they just need to be balanced in a sense that we can both understand through writings and through experimental videos.
Yeah, I do agree with this statement, and I also think that they should use educational videos instead of theoretical readings because if teachers use different kind of documentary videos or chapter-based questions related with MCQs and different kinds of theoretical learnings and by the possible factors of teachers, which main strengths for learning very effectively.
Well, teachers can use social media and other platforms to show us notes the day when they are tired, and we can also get visual representation from it and learn many things.
Yes, I do agree that videos are very useful for visual concepts and understanding the lessons better. And as they mentioned earlier, I think that rather than just learning the formulas from the book, I think going to some labs or practical labs can also help us to learn more effectively on that topic.
Okay, now, switching to more serious topics, are you guys aware about cyberbullying?
Yes, we are.
And do you think such a thing happens to students who use social media a lot?
Yes, I definitely think that such a thing might happen to students who use social media a lot because cyberbullying is a kind of threatful effect which may happen in everybody's life, especially in students' life. If we spare or share our different kinds of details or informative documents or our personal information to strangers, then cyberbullying might happen.
Yes, in this day and age of technology, I believe that cyberbullying is bound to happen. And in my opinion, although it depends upon the person, I do believe that students who tend to use social media a lot more than other people on average tend to have a higher chance of being risked at cyberbullying. Mostly because when a person is more active in social media, they tend to share more about themselves. Examples being sharing your location when you're eating in a restaurant or something, which can be really dangerous for doxing and kidnapping.
Yes, I do think that students are more prone to cyberbullying because they are mostly online nowadays because all of the students have phones in this modern technology so they are mostly prone to online bullying and it may happen because they are so young and they don't know what to share or what not to share about their private lives so I think it's the reason that there is cyberbullying around.
अहिलेको जमाना कस्तो जमाना भन्दाखेरि यो जमानामा मानिसहरूले गरेको सबै सानो सानो कुराहरूमा नि जिस्काउने खिसी गर्ने त्यस्तो हुन्छ द्याट्स वाइ साइबर बुलिङ इज इज द मोस्ट थ्रेटफुल इन दिस जेनेरेसन र अहिलेको जमानामा कस्तो कस्तो मानिसहरूलाई यस्तो साइबर बुलिङ हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि teenage children and youths they are more vulnerable to happen these things to them.
Well, I do think that social media, once you're on social media, the more you're online, the more you'll meet new people, and you're more likely to be affected by cyberbullying.
So you do think such a thing happens to students who use social media a lot?
Yes,
Yes.
definitely, because they're teenagers. Teenagers are more vulnerable and more naive and more prone to cyberbullying.
And all of you guys seem pretty aware of cyberbullying and such cyber crimes. So you guys must have some ways on how to stop or minimize cyberbullying.
Yes, I can think of some ways to minimize cyberbullying. I think first of all we need to learn how to act on those platforms, and I think we should stop avoid sharing hateful comments and maybe sharing information about someone or to someone. And if someone is getting bullied, we should stand up for them and report the problem rather than just ignoring it.
Yes, I truly agree with Shiza on this matter. While cyberbullying is a really serious matter, we should deal with it with proper measures. In my opinion, telling a trusted adult is the best matter on the situation. If you're going through things such as cyberbullying, taking it all alone is really dangerous. It can really come with great risk and traumatic events such as depression.
Well, I do agree, cyberbullying does lead to depression, but you also have to remember about what you're posting and what you're commenting, because you never know a funny comment or a positive comment how it affects someone else. They might take it negatively or they might take it rudely. But also remember to stand up for someone else who's being bullied, because when you get support during such rough times, it's really helpful.
Well, we can not. It's not like we can It's not like we can stop cyberbullying all at a time. But we can minimize it by using the block and the report feature, which is always available in our social media platforms. But we need to be careful on whom we use it. We might use it on innocent people for without any reason, and other people may also use it for uh, just to troll their faces.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to him. As you said that there are that we can minimize this cyberbullying and its effects, but we cannot stop it at once. But there are some tips I would like to recommend to these young youth and students about the effects about the minimization of the cyberbullying, and they are by sharing our personal documents and personal identification numbers to strangers, and by not and by keeping all our private information and and documents to with ourselves, and by not sharing our personal and by sharing our personal information like our name, age, address, etc. to others.
Despite these points about cyber crime and cyberbullying, do you guys feel that ultimately social media is good or bad?
मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि social media is ultimately good, as there are many beneficial things that we can get from or even learn from social media. But we need to always remember that balance is everything. We should follow the rules and regulations that for the use of social media.
Well, going through what we have talked about a lot of setbacks on social media as well, like cybercrime, cyberbullying, but definitely I believe there's lots of positive aspects, especially for a student through social media. So I believe social media is personally good.
Well, I agree with both of you guys. In my opinion, too, social media is ultimately good. Not mostly, I'm aware about cyberbullying, of course, but there are many things that we talked about in this podcast that will bring social media to more of a light stage than a dark stage. I believe that social media is good.
Well, I would like to disagree with you all. I do think that social media does more harm than good. Students are more prone to cyberbullying, as we talked about earlier, and they are more exposed to videos that are inappropriate to their age, and they may get involved with some activities that are against their morals or their parents' approval.
Well, I also agree with her. I also disagree that social media is ultimately good, because social media have different kind of effects and different kind of good effects as well as bad effects. But I think that social media and cyberbullying has more bad and disadvantages, and some of them might be like nowadays in today's modern world, students are being more leisure and they are being less creative, and and the reason behind it is social media. Why is it so? So social media, because social media is making us feel making us lazy and making us like making us depend more on it. So that's why I think that social media is ultimately bad.
So it turns out we have mixed feelings about social media, but I would personally say that social media is good. Then now we're at the end of this video. Before we leave, is there any messages our guests have for our viewers?
Yes, I have something to say. उसले भनेको कुरा पनि बिर्सिनुहुन्न सोसियल मिडियामा राम्रो मात्र होइन नराम्रो कुरा पनि हुन्छ त्यही भएर हामीले सोसियल मिडिया चलाउँदाखेरि राम्ररी सोचेर हामीले के गर्दैछौँ हो त्यो ज्ञानमा राखेर भन्नुपर्छ र सोसियल मिडिया चलाउनुपर्छ
Well, the only message I have for you all is to try your best for this time.
Thank you. So with that, this video is coming to end. Thank you to all the guests and the viewers. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye bye!